Welcome to the Mizzle Dub Show. Welcome to the Mizzle Dub Show. 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 Dub Show. Welcome to the Mizzle Dub Show.
And good morning from the West Coast. Welcome to the latest edition of the Mizzle Dub Show. I am Dub. He is Mizzle. And how you doing?
How you doing?
All right, well, just to get into it, a lot of things going on in the association, and we're just going to get right to it. It definitely was Dame time last night in the Pacific Northwest, as Dame just, well, first off, he's that dude from Oakland, California, first and foremost. Let's get that straight. But also, own of a career high, 71 of them buckets.
41 in the first half.
Yeah.
41
and then added a nice, just a quiet 30 in the second half as the Blazers trying to fight for their playoff lives, beat the Rockets. I mean, yes, granted, it was the Rockets, true enough, but still. Putting up 71 is putting up 71.
No matter who
and the home crowd in Portland, Oregon, was definitely partaking in the festivities yesterday as they beat the Rockets 131-114. Just to run down the scoreboard yesterday, the break up the Bucks, they've won now 14 straight. They beat the Suns 104-101 without the Greek freak.
Yeah.
Go figure. Holiday had a nice game. Booker had 24, but Drew Holiday, who people keep forgetting how talented Drew Holiday is.
I'm not shocked at Drew Holiday.
I mean, well, we watch basketball, but I'm saying for those that be like, who is this guy? I'm like, he just watch me play. He might not be getting the exposure because he's playing in Milwaukee, but
I believe my Sixers had him.
Yeah, he's gotten away from some people. He had 23. Brook Lopez had 22. Portis had 10. And Middleton off the bench had 11 to help the Bucks get the win by 3. Booker had 24. Aiden had 22. Aiden, another double-double. Paul had 18. But, they were just 3 points better, of course. Still waiting on Kevin Durant's debut.
Yes.
In the beat the Nets 129-127. Of course, as you know, they fired Nate McMillan and they hired former Jazz coach Quinn Snyder, who was a very good coach. Took the Jazz to the playoffs 6 times in his 10 seasons up there in Salt Lake City. So
not a bad hire.
Even though I think but I just don't think Nate McMillan got the fair share of the deal. But Nate McMillan's a good coach. He's playing this league. Yeah. He won't be jobless for long if he wants to keep on coaching.
Yeah, there will be a door will open on somebody's staff for him.
Yeah. Bulls beat the Wizards 102-82. About the only time I'll ever give this team credit, but you must give them credit because they were down 27 and somehow miraculously came back to beat the Mavericks. The Lakers came back to beat the Mavericks by 3, 111-108. Yeah, very good game. I mean, I'm sitting there, eating, and I'm looking at the score. It's 50-24.
Right.
And I'm just steadily watching. I'm just like, whoa, wait a minute. Now, with that said, and this is where I'm sure if you're a Laker fan, I'm pretty sure this is where you get frustrated. Brow decided not to tear himself. Actually played 37 minutes yesterday. Shocking. But he had 30 and 15. Now, Here comes the frustrating part if you're a Laker fan because you see the talent, it's there.
Yes.
And if you're Shaquille O'Neal, he'd be like, well, you can't do that every game. Give me 28 and 15. That's something Shaq would say because, that's what Shaq did.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I mean, Vanderbilt was impressive. 15 boards, 17 boards. Schroeder had 16. Maybe it might have been too late for these trades the Lakers made. Maybe it might give them some momentum going into the next season. We don't know.
Right.
But got to get more out of your starters. I mean, Kyrie had 21, Luke had 26, Hardaway had 17 off the bench, Wood had 14 off the bench, but you got to get more out of your bench. But the Mavericks are in the playoffs, the Lakers are not. The Cavaliers beat the Raptors 118-113, and the Sacramento Kings just continue to win.
Like I say, Coach
Brown,
3
in a row since
Coach of the Year.
They won 3 in a row since the All-Star break, and exactly, if Mike Brown is not the Coach of the Year with what he's done with this team, something's wrong. I mean, just go back to Friday night, 176-175 in double overtime against the Clippers. Malik Monk had 44 points, or had 45, a career high. De'Aaron Fox had a career high of 42 points. But just what they said after the press conference.
It was back at Kentucky.
And that's another thing. People don't know how talented Malik Monk is. He just hasn't been given the chance to shine. Yeah. And Mike Brown has given him that chance to shine in Sacramento, and you're seeing the results.
Yeah.
But I mean, the talent has always been there. But what impressed me was what they said after the press conference. And I mean, De'Aaron Fox just plainly said, I don't give a fuck who's over there, making reference to Kawhi, Westbrook, and Paul George. Is like, no, I don't give a fuck. They need to worry about us. We're here.
Yep.
And Malik Monk was like, yeah, we're here. And they've been holding on to that 3 seed for a long time. But I mean, I never doubted Vivek Ranande's desire to win, who took the Kings over from the Maloofs. I've never not doubted his desire to win.
Yeah.
Because he's tried a lot of ways to do it. Try to do it by bringing in Vlade, and Vlade's a fan favorite, but Vlade, you had the chance to draft Luka Doncic, and you didn't. Could you imagine De'Aaron Fox and Luka Doncic on the same court together? That
no.
Kings fans would have been shitting on themselves going back to the days of Bibby and Weber.
Yeah.
And Peja Stojakovic.
Yeah.
Which, not a Kings fan, but those teams were fun to freaking watch the way they played the ball. Especially
against the Lakers. That was fun basketball.
Oh, yeah. Well, like I said, 2002 should have been the Kings title. I don't care what anybody says. 2002 should have been their title. And you know what?
Spot on. I agree.
The Kings might be a problem in these playoffs, so don't sleep on the state capitol, because Mike Brown. I mean, well, you and I both knew that Mike Brown was going to have the team improved.
Oh, sure.
We didn't think to the ability of them being in the 3rd seed in the Western Conference as we speak. But I mean, it's amazing. So to round out the Sunday weekend, of course, we just talked about the Blazers being the Rockets 131-114. The Nuggets continuing to hold on their number 1 seed claim. They beat the Clippers 134-124, and Nikola Jokic is just a freaking monster.
And I can't be mad if they pick him again as the MVP. Especially, I mean, yeah, I believe he wins it better this year than he won it last year. I believe you can call me biased or whatever you want, but the Embiid should have won the MVP last year. Just totally what he did last year. He's even continuing that on this year. But Jokic is triple doubles though, man.
Yeah, he is continuously messing around. 40, 17 rebounds and 10 assists. What big man does that? What really might be the first since Larry Joe Bird to win 3 consecutive NBA MVPs, which hardly happens.
Yeah,
and thus, as we said, you look at the standings. The Nuggets have the best record in the West. They are 2 games behind Boston in the loss column for an overall best record in the NBA. Which I know for your Sixers, they just continue to be that kryptonite, but damn it, that was an exciting game on Saturday.
It was. But what I always talk about my Sixers, they can build the lead, they can never hold it.
Can't hold it.
15.
Can't hold it. Yeah.
They're up 15. So I mean, if Embiid had a split of a second, we were going overtime. But hey,
yeah, because I mean,
it was a close game. I mean, so
yeah,
they showed me something like I told you. I said, just show me something tonight. So I don't see them far off, but I still see the Celtics beating them in a 7-game series. That's just how that's going to go. We're not ready for that.
Well, Philadelphia's got a big game tonight at home against Miami, which you can catch on NBA TV, by the way.
Yeah, I'll be tuning in.
That should be a fun game. There's only 4 games tonight on the calendar in the association.
Oh.
Good job. Go back. And only 4 games: Pistons, Hornets, Heat, 76ers, Celtics and Knicks at the Garden. That should be intriguing. And the Magic and Pelicans. Yeah, so there is no West Coast games on the NBA tonight. That's odd. But last night, they found a way. The Warriors found a way to beat a feisty Timberwolves team, 109-104. I'm still trying to understand how in the hell Klay Thompson made the bank open with that shot, which was tremendous defense.
It was
by the defender, but Klay
better than that.
But Klay somehow went off the side of the backboard and it found the net. But here's continuing to tread water. They're now back above 500.
I believe they're locking down
as they're trying to,
right?
Well, which would mean they'll be in the playing game. So they're trying to get to the 6th seed.
Yes,
that's the plan. Klay had 32 last night. Warriors shot 35% from 3. Timberwolves 37, but it was the defense in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
they held the Timberwolves to 17 points in the fourth quarter after the Warriors went 1 for 12 down the stretch in the third quarter. They couldn't hit the side of a damn barn, but I don't know if Steve Kerr broke a clipboard or Draymond Green said something, but they awakened. But I'm going to say again, certainly the last 2 seasons for the Warriors, the unsung hero has been Kevon Looney.
Yep.
All the man does is just play every game.
Yep.
All the man does is just give you everything he possibly can.
Yep.
And he can definitely play on my team any day. Man had 12. He had 12 points last night, but more importantly than that, 17 rebounds. Just keeping plays alive. Kuminga had 13. Looney had 12. Klay had
the Kuminga's coming to his own right now.
The talent was there. The talent was always there.
But he's getting it now. You can clearly see that the rhythm, he's got rhythm. And as
it's becoming
minutes. Yeah. I mean, he has an excellent mentor in Iguodala, though. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better mentor.
Yes, he does.
You just want to talk about offenses run. You go talk to Iguodala.
Yeah. Well, one thing's for sure, Kuminga's a better shooter than Iggy ever was.
Well, of course. Yeah. Yeah, most definitely.
As I mean, when Iggy was Philadelphia, Iggy was going to the basket and posterizing people.
Yeah. Yes.
That was his game. I totally forgot he was in the slam dunk contest in one of those years. Probably should have won it.
Most definitely.
But Dante DiVincenzo has also been playing into his own lately. He's been huge. Yes. I mean, I was a fan of the signing anyway when they signed him, and I thought, he's going to help big time. And he had a big 21 points last night. Jordan Poole had 15. So, I mean, you're just trying to hold down the fort until Wardell gets back because, as you know, as I've been saying for years, Wardell is still the straw that stirs the Warriors' drink. So, yeah, the Warriors are standings with load as technology wants to be a pain right now.
I believe, if I'm correct, looking at the standings, they should be holding down the 7th seed right now, which, like you said, a game above 500. And the pesky Lakers are still trying to fight for that 6th seed, which they got a lot of work to do. But if they continue to play that the way they've been playing right now, I don't see it far off of them.
Well, right now, by 8 percentage points, the Mavericks are holding the 6th seed over the Warriors. The Warriors and the Mavericks are tied in the loss column, each with 30, but the Mavericks have one more win.
Okay.
So
that would be what
you are correct. They are holding
0.5.
You are correct. You are correct. They are holding the 7th seed, but if they can overturn the Dallas, they can get in the 6th seed. So right now, if we're talking play-in tournament right now, it would be the Warriors, Jazz, Timberwolves, and Pelicans. That's the last 4, with Portland and the Lakers and the Thunder right there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
In the play-in for the East, it's the Heat, Hawks, Raptors, and Wizards, and the Bulls with the outside shot, and the Pacers with an outside shot.
Well,
that's where you stand. So right now in the East, Your top 6 is Boston number 1, Milwaukee 2, your Sixers 3, Cleveland still holding on the 4 spot, and the New York teams holding out the 5 and 6 with the Nets because they have one less loss, even though the Knicks have one more win. But because less loss, Brooklyn has the 5 spot, Knicks have the 6 spot. In that, of course, Nuggets 1, Memphis 2, Kings 3, Suns 4, Clippers 5, Mavericks 6. But our Warriors on the trail. I mean, the Warriors could possibly get the 5th seed because, like I said,
not far off.
The Clippers, Mavericks, and Warriors are all in the same loss column with 30. But the Clippers only have 2 more wins than the Warriors, and the Mavericks only have 1 more win than the Warriors. So possibly the Warriors could get to the 5th seed.
Yes.
And for a first round playoff, a Suns Warriors first round, a 4 versus 5 seed.
That would be fun basketball.
That would be some very high ratings for sure.
And you get KD back
against Wardell, yeah.
So KD should be there. So that
would definitely add to a lot of.
I would love to see that for the simple fact of the matter. We'll be pulling for the Warriors, of course, but the Warriors win that with all the firepower that the Suns have.
Mm-hmm.
How would that make KD look? Like, say you did all this traveling when you could have been right here still. Even when you come back to the division, you still can't beat them. And honestly, with the Warriors making it to the playoffs, I believe coming in healthy, every year they won a title, they've been doubted. So I wouldn't doubt them to pull off something again. They're just battle tested.
Yeah, they are. All right. Well, at least for 2 straight weeks, the number 1 team in the country did not change. It's still the Houston Cougars. They are a very impressive 27-2. Alabama is still number 2. Kansas is number 4 or number 3. UCLA, even though Colorado gave them a game yesterday, they still hold on to the 4 seed. And UCLA outright won the Pac-12 regular season championship, which makes 2 Bruin fans we know very happy.
Yes.
Purdue is at 5, Marquette's at 6, Baylor 7th, the Wildcats 8, Texas 9, and Gonzaga. Of course, like I said, Gonzaga and St. Mary's never disappoint.
Gotta go witness that. Gotta go witness that because those play each other. It's just tremendous, and it's always a great atmosphere.
Yes, doesn't matter if it's in Moraga, doesn't matter if it's Seattle. When those 2 get together, it is fun
and
basketball.
Both fan bases travel very well, so that's why.
Yes, they do.
So very intense.
Well, like I said, that's normally the West Coast Conference tournament is normally here in Vegas, as it normally is at the Orleans Arena. And I will not be surprised if it's another St. Mary's Gonzaga conference final.
No, not at all.
And if it is, I am going to damn sure try my hardest to get to that.
Yes.
But that rounds out the top 10. And some weird things going on here. I know everybody was happy about Jake Paul finally losing. But of course, him being him, he's gonna give excuses. My hand broke, and I was sick. And this and third, and EIO.
He already invoked his rematch clause. So
his rematch clause.
Yeah, there will be. And I'm gonna have to agree with Stephen A. Smith on this one. I too much don't agree with everything he says, but on this one, he was like, "Yeah, nobody wants to see that." They had a big star cast there, and it seemed like that it was just a lot of people said it was boring. So I don't know.
What did you do it? But anyway, continuing with the sweet science. 2 fights we know are, well, one for sure certain. The other one has signed, but of course you and I want to see a press conference. But on June 10th, Josh Taylor and Teofimo Lopez are going to fight for Taylor's WBO junior welterweight title in New York. That'll be on ESPN, ESPN Plus. Lopez, former undisputed lightweight champion. And it looks like it might take place either at the Garden or in the theater at MSG. It hasn't been settled yet, but
so it's in
2 solid fighters. It's in New York regardless, which is good to see.
Yeah.
And finally, it appears that Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis are finally going to fight in Vegas. Again, we want a press conference to really make it official. The target date is
April
the 22nd in Las Vegas, which will be on Showtime pay-per-view. Now, according to Mike Carpenter of ESPN, which was posted back on the 24th, he says the fight is now finalized. They said the finalizing was the broadcast agreement between Showtime and DAZN, because Ryan Garcia is a DAZN fighter. Of course, Tank is with Showtime, obviously.
Yes.
So, but apparently that's been done, and the fight will be on Showtime pay-per-view.
Question right here.
So,
can I actually, while we're on the sweet science, now, remember back then when I believe Mike Tyson was with HBO, and Lennox
Mike Tyson was Showtime.
Okay, so
Tyson was Showtime.
Lennox Lewis was with HBO then, right?
Lennox was HBO, yes.
Okay, yes. Okay, so I knew it was. Thank you for correcting me on that before I got any further in my story. To where I'm getting at now, that it's always a problem. Like the fighters always agree on the fight, but these damn broadcasts always get in the way. Now, when Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis fought, there was not a problem in the world. They got it done.
Well, it was a joint production. First off,
but that's what I'm getting at. That we have so much problems now, because honestly, wasn't that the problem with the first go around with Manny Pacquiao and Money Mayweather? Was it the broadcast? It was drug test.
No, I don't think. No, I don't think it was the broadcast, because that also was a joint broadcast production together.
Okay.
Because I think Al Bernstein was on the broadcast with Jim Lampley when Pacquiao and Mayweather fought.
This is true. Yes.
Same thing when Tyson fought Lewis. Jim Lampley and Bobby Ches, who was the analyst for Showtime. It was him. Correct. And Lampley on the broadcast for the Tyson Lewis fight, and then you had an alternate broadcast with Larry Merchant, Fran Charles, and George Foreman.
Correct.
On a various broadcasts of the fight, because I mean, of course, anything that involves Top Ring or any big fight, there's always been two broadcasts: the main broadcast, and of course, for those that are real boxing fans, Colonel Bob Shepard, who's been calling fights for years. There's his broadcast, because if you find most Tyson videos on Facebook or Instagram and you hear calls, normally you would hear the Colonel Bob Shepard's calls, as opposed to when he was fighting on HBO or Showtime with Steve Albert or Jim Lampley or whoever was doing it.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's always multiple broadcasts of fights, because I mean, of course, BBC, who also does fights, and Sky Sports. Mm-hmm. If you never heard British announcers call boxing, it is fucking fascinating.
God. Like, it's great. It's great.
I kid you not. Like,
are we shocked at anything that they call me? Soccer sounds good. I would love to hear them broadcast. I would love to hear them broadcast a baseball game. I guarantee you, it will be wonderful. I mean, I've heard them do both soccer, football. I didn't heard that, of course, now boxing. But I would love to hear a home run call or just like a walk off. That would be amazing. Amazing.
Right. No, one of the best snippets of broadcasting I heard from was the first fight between Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua, and it was the third round where Ruiz got knocked down and Joshua got knocked down twice.
Yes.
And just the passion that the British announcers brought was freaking outstanding. Like, when we were doing shows talking about the World Cup, we was talking about, damn it, give me British announcing and give it to me now. I need it now.
Yeah, that's all I want to hear. That's all I want to hear when I'm watching soccer. If it's not a British announcer, then it's almost like my interest just went down slightly. I'm still gonna watch the game
slightly.
The passion.
It's like, damn it, let me find. It's like, damn it, let me find the BBC channel. Let me go to there right now.
Straight up.
That'll be the thing. But of course,
I'm glad these two finally did it right. It was more to jump back to the fight. It was a whole lot of shit talking going on between these two.
Correct. And they're still going to be.
Yeah. And you thought it wasn't going to happen. That's why I want a press conference, because they're going to be in their face talking more shit. But you thought.
Surprised that somebody throws a punch either.
Well, hey, somebody might Mike Tyson somebody might get bit. You never know. You never know what goes on in these press conferences.
And then Tyson might get one of his great Tyson verbatims. I mean, we really can't say what he said at the Lennox News press conference, but if you know, you know.
That was one of, it was some things said in that, but that's one of Tyson's greatest promos.
Sound bites.
Yeah, sound bites. People can say Tyson may not be all up here, but if you listen, man is a brilliant man. That man has a brilliant mind. But to jump back on the fight, I'm glad that these two finally got it done. All the shit talking they were doing. Now, all you got to do is just go put it in the ring. Now, I hope they give the people what they want, more than 3 rounds, because they're gonna come out trying to throw bombs and drop each other because the hostility is there.
Here's something interesting. Okay, as we knew, it's a catchweight fight. It's a 136 catchweight.
Yes.
Interesting. One of the disputes had the clause to threaten to derail the fight, but the issue was resolved. So earlier in the month, PBC Premier Boxing Championship, which is the banner that Tank fights under.
Yes.
And of course, Ryan Garcia is under Oscar and Golden Boy.
Yes.
PBC agreed that Golden Boy would serve as the lead promoter for a second bout if Ryan Garcia wins. So that's just something to keep in mind.
So there's a rematch clause in the deal.
In there somewhere. And if Garcia wins, Golden Boy would be the promoter for the second fight, which possibly could mean that the second fight could be on DAZN. We don't know. We'll see. Because as we know, Golden Boy has a contract with DAZN. As we know, PBC has a contract with Fox and Showtime.
I'm foreshadowing here, brother.
Ed,
we're going to get a trilogy. I believe we will get a trilogy. How you just structured and said that, how that contract goes, we're going to get a trilogy. We're going to get a rematch regardless of who wins. Okay? And I believe it's going to be a rubber match on the third one. I can see it go 1-1.
I'm all for trilogies because, as you know, the fight that we really want is not happening because, as you would say, they don't want to get their shit together. So, you know what? I will take 3 fights of Tank and Ryan Garcia. Why not? It'll make for good quality television.
Nothing else is coming up that's big that I really want to.
The build up. Well, there's one more because let's see, Devin Haney and Vasily Lomachenko. You can see.
Oh my God! You talk about sweet boxing right there. Them men are tacticians at throwing their hands.
You want to talk about the technical sweet side of boxing?
Yeah.
Watch those two fight.
Oh, that's going to be a dynamic fight. Oh, thank you for. Yes. So yeah, that's. Oh man, bring it. Hell, you can give me a trilogy out of them too. I wouldn't mind it.
I will take it right now.
I mean, we're not, like you said earlier, we're not getting what we really want because, one person talks this way, the other person talks this way. One person fires his promotion because he didn't give him the fight. Now he's his own walking promotion and he still can't get it done. So stop me with all this BS. This is going to be just like Pacquiao and Manny. Pacquiao and Money. I guarantee you. It's going to be years down the line. We forget about it. And then being like, really? You guys are old. Nobody cares.
Just gotta figure out when are they fighting because I know because it is official. They are going to fight. I just gotta figure out the date between those two.
Isn't it
I think that's going to be also at and I think that's also going to be at Madison Square Garden between Devin Haney versus Lomachenko.
That fight be in May. I want to say May.
Or correct. They are scheduling it for late May. So yes.
Yeah.
So late April. So late April, you get Tank and Ryan Garcia. And then late May, you get Haney and Lomachenko. Yeah, okay. Boxing's trying to get my money, especially in April, May with those two fights. That's
I'm definitely getting the Tank Davis fight. I'll Showtime will give me for that.
So it is May the 20th that Haney and Lomachenko will be boxing.
I'm for it.
Not even a month after.
Let's do it. Boxing, we need this.
So very quickly, we rarely talk about hockey on the show, but I would be remiss if I didn't give out 2 tributes to 2 beloved San Jose Sharks, because that's about the only thing worth talking about because the season. Well, we knew the season was going to be crappy. That's not surprising. Finally, they're doing a full rebuild, which probably was about 3 years too late, but still it's happening. So just stack up the draft picks and develop this team. And then maybe in 2 years we'll start caring again, and hopefully they can make a run. But first off, Timo Meyer, who spent 7 years in the teal and the black, was a fantastic Shark. He was traded to the New Jersey Devils for draft picks and other young players. So, like I said, definitely wish Timo Meyer all the best. He was a fantastic Shark, was a fan favorite. Actually led the Sharks in goals this year with 31.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's just, we knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Because they kept talking about it, because they kept saying, is it going to be him? Is it going to be Tomas Hertl? Is it going to be Erik Karlsson? To which Karlsson might be dealt to the Edmonton Oilers.
I would so hate to see that young man go, but I understand it's a business and they're trying to rebuild. So get all the capital you can.
Yeah. Because I mean, Tomas Hertl is another fan favorite. Also,
of course, I had to see him go as well.
So it would be sad, but I just want to give Timo Meyer his due. Yeah. And it was a very special weekend in San Jose, California, as one of the all-time greatest Sharks, and as I affectionately call him, Mr. San Jose Shark, and rightfully so, the very first number to get retired into the Raptors at the Shark Tank, as Patrick Marleau gets his due, gets his number 12 retired. Yes, the tribute that Jumbo Joe Thornton gave him, I'm not crying, you're crying, because it was very it was very, very tearful. But I mean, Marleau, one of the top picks in '97, played a lot of seasons, most of it in teal and black.
Yes.
And he was on the team that gave the Sharks, when they took us on that amazing ride in 2015, 2016, an unexpected ride to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Close. It's close.
Lost to a very good Penguins team in 6 games.
It's close.
To Crosby and Chris Letang.
Yeah.
But I mean, just want to give those guys their due, as it was fantastic to see number 12 get retired forever. Nobody will ever wear that jersey again in San Jose Sharks history.
Yes.
And rightfully so.
Yes.
Now, on to some spring football, as Chris Bryant just hit a home run to give the Rockies the lead over the A's in the first inning of some Cactus League baseball. This new reincarnation of the XFL.
I'm buying it.
How do you feel about it?
I'm buying in.
So far?
I like the route it's going. You can clearly see it wasn't rushed as previous regimes that took over the XFL. The kickoff is tremendous. I kind of like that. It keeps it a little safe. It makes it more exciting. The only thing that I see that I will say, I might have said this before, is I see that they're playing no defense in this. Even though there's been some defense played and the scores have shown defense, but with the way they have the scoring set up, when you score a touchdown, how you can how the points you can get, and how you can go for it on 4th and 15 and get a first down if you convert.
If you don't want to onside.
Yeah. So I like the route it's going. It's interesting. I can see it going more. It'll be more successful than the previous people that took it over. So bring it.
Well, one thing I can see so far, the Houston Roughnecks are picking up from where they left off the last time the XFL was in the league, because they definitely look like they have been, or they are the best team in the league so far. And of course, they do play defense. When Wade Phillip is your head coach, you're going to play defense.
Better play defense
somehow, some way. I mean, and the St. Louis Battlehawks just like to play close games, battle to the end. That just seemingly that's just what they do.
It's their name.
Exactly, Battlehawks. Won a last-second field goal to beat the San Antonio Brahmas. Won a last-second field goal to beat the Seattle Sea Dragons. Even though I do like the Sea Dragons uniforms as I look, I do like the look. It is pretty snazzy. Renegades had a lead, but the Roughnecks came back to win. Paxton Lynch just likes to get benched, as San Antonio beat Orlando 30-12. I was at Cashman Field on Saturday for the home opener between the Vegas Vipers and the DC Defenders. DC is 2-0. From watching the Vipers, they just kind of like the 76ers, get a lead, can't protect it.
Yep.
But then it was a monsoon, which hardly happens in Vegas, where it's steady rain, but was steady rain in Vegas. But it was a fun atmosphere. I enjoyed myself. But one thing the DC defenders did, they made the switch to De'Aaron King at quarterback, and it got the run game going for DC, and that was eventually the downfall for the Vipers as they lost 18-6.
Yes.
And they had opportunities to kick some field goals, but the turf, the wet turf played a part in it.
So they wasn't prepared for rain.
DC. Well, I mean, at halftime they were, putting spots on the grass to where there was possible slippage. But I mean, even on one of the kickoffs, the DC kicker slipped and fell, which if the ball goes out of bounds, the ball is placed in plus territory for your team on the XFL kickoff. But I just think the Vipers first off, the Vipers need a consistent run game, and you need to figure out who the hell your quarterback is. Is it Hunley? Is it Lopez? That's what you got to find out first. See, they'll have a home game next week against let's go to the schedule. Home game against the Seattle Sea Dragons. So somebody is going to get their first win of the season in a battle of 0-2 teams.
Well, I kind of love games like that to where somebody has to win, and that they're both fighting to get that first win.
Yes, that normally makes for good, entertaining games. You're right.
Yes.
So that's the only game on Saturday, which I just might go there straight from work and just go enjoy myself at a football game. Why not?
I mean,
then Sunday you got a triple.
Why not? Right?
Yeah. Sunday you got a triple header. Battle of the Unbeatens, the St. Louis Battlehawks, the DC Defenders. That's at 1 Eastern. That's at 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific. Then you got the Guardians going to Arlington to take on the Renegades. That's at 12 Pacific. No, 11 Pacific. Because that is, two of the games will be on FX. So the Battlehawks and Defenders will be on FX, along with the Guardians and the Renegades. And then another Texas battle, the Brahmas and the Roughnecks, is the nightcap at 5. That's on ESPN2. So that's your week 3 edition of the XFL. I do like the jersey designs. A lot of these teams. I think the Guardians jerseys are plain as can be. I do like the Roughnecks helmet. How it's got the state flag on one side and the Roughneck logo on the other side, almost kind of like the Houston Oilers per se. And like I said, the game, it hasn't been blowouts with the exception of the Brahmas and the Guardians. But I mean, it's been competitive, and then just a better team pulls away at the end. So, getting back to the association, how do you see the standings? I guess for the play-in tournament, how do you see that coming out? And I guess we'll start with the Eastern Conference. Right now, for the playing game, it's the Heat, Hawks, Raptors, and Wizards. Do you see any of that changing? Do you see perhaps one of those teams possibly getting into the top 6? Because right now the seed is being held by the New York Knickerbockers.
What are the bottom teams? What are the bottom teams fighting to get into the play-in?
The play-in right now, if it was to stop, and the play-in was tonight, it would be the Heat, Hawks, Raptors, and Wizards. That's 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, what is 11? 11 and 12.
11 and 12 is the Bulls and the Pacers. The Bulls are 28 and 33. Indiana is 27 and 35. The Wizards, who are holding the 10 spot, they are 28 and 32.
No, not too much of a change. If anything, I can see the Pacers maybe sneaking in just because they've been playing some solid basketball. They've been close in games. They haven't been getting blown out. They've been fighting. So if anything, I can see the Pacers. The Bulls, the moment that they heard ball went down and Zach LaVine can't too much do it by himself. So I don't see that too much changing. So no, I don't see the East changing too much per se. Maybe the Nets might drop off because they've been on a slump right about now. So if anything, the Nets might drop out of their spot. And I can see maybe the Heat jumping in because Jimmy Butler is about to put a fire under that team's ass. Because right now he's not happy because they're losing. Now, I hope they don't beat my Sixers tonight. I hope they start their winning streak after the Sixers. But I can see the Heat making a push for that spot the Nets have because the Nets are going backwards, especially after trading Kyrie and KD's gone. I mean, they got some good, tremendous talent there, but I don't think it's a little too late for them to gel to hold that off. So I would rather see the Heat in that net spot. So that's about the only change I might see can happen.
I think the battle for 1 and 2 might flip flop between the Celtics and the Bucks because I think that's not settled yet. If that's the case.
If we're talking about the top,
yes.
Okay, now if we're going to talk about the top, I can see possibly 1, 2, and 3 flipping. I think
it can happen.
I think the Sixers can get no more than the second seed. I can see we can get that. I do like what you're saying between Boston and Milwaukee. And we also don't know how long Giannis is going to be out. They might can just shut him down and just have him fresh for the playoffs. I mean, I don't see them going any further than down to 3 seed, and that's not bad. You can still run through the East being a 3 seed. So that's about the only change I can see. But I do agree. If Philly doesn't creep in to get the second, I can see Boston and the Bucks doing it like a flip-flop there. I do agree to that.
Of course, the Western Conference. This is really one of the first times in a long time that the West has really been close knit. I mean, other than the Grizzlies, Kings, and Nuggets holding on to their seeds. I mean, really, 4 through 10 can really flip flop.
Hell, the Lakers can even.
I mean, okay.
If they continue to win, they can get to the 6 seed.
Well, I don't know. Something. Like I said, the moves the Lakers did were good. I just think they did them too late.
They need a lot.
And I don't know.
The top lose. They need the top to lose, and they need to continue to win. And if any Laker fan will agree with me if I say this, and if you don't, then you're just a pure Laker fan. I get it, but I don't see AD making it any longer than what the regular season is going to go. He's a walking jump from tearing something. Hell, LeBron ain't even healthy. He was on the ground talking about he heard something pop.
Oh, LeBron's playing on a bum foot.
Yeah, and then when he went down, he said he heard something pop. So I get it. I mean, but yeah, like you said, the moves they made were perfect. Just a little too late. You should have did it early. When the trading deadline started, if they'd have made the moves in the beginning, I believe this team would have been gelled enough to make that push. But I just think it's a little too late because they got a lot. Like I said, they need a lot to happen up top. The bottom can move, but you need a lot to happen up top to get to where you want to be. But it can happen.
Agree with that.
But I doubt it. I don't want it to happen, but I doubt it. I don't see the top changing too much unless the Warriors start winning. And then maybe that top can flip-flop. I don't see the Nuggets just surrendering that number 1 seed. I don't see that happening.
No, I don't see Denver giving up the 1 seed. I won't be surprised if the Sacramento Kings end up being the 2 seed because I mean, like I said, they just continue to play good ball.
That's the only thing I can see happen.
The Kings have won 3 in a row. Like I said, they are in a very good place. I just like what Mike Brown's doing.
Coach of the year. I will continue to pound on the table for that. And if they mess that up, then shame on the NBA because that team has not been relevant for years. And just one coach, yet again, off the Warrior staff, the Kings like plucking Warrior coaches.
Yeah, they do.
Got it right. So kudos to them.
Can't top that. As I'm now watching the A's and Rockies on TV, or on my phone, that is, and the laser just struck out.
I got the Giants in the background with a little. I can hear them a little bit.
On the radio feed?
Yeah, I'm on the network listening to the radio feed.
Nice. But baseball's around the corner. The WBC starting in a couple of weeks,
yes.
Which is always fascinating to see. teams playing for their flag, for their countries, always makes for some entertaining, fun baseball. And a good thing about the WBC is they will not be playing under the new rules of Major League Baseball, because I know how much you hate the pitch clock already. The pitch clock has definitely made its impact felt throughout the first few days of spring training in baseball.
Yes, it has.
It's unique to say, although I do like the bigger bases. Will that mean steals? Who knows? I know if Ricky was still playing, he would be stealing all over the dang place with those big bags. Right. I'm just saying. But springtime is coming, which means tournament, which means the start of baseball, which means spring football, and NBA playoffs. So we will definitely have everything covered as best as we can here on the Mizzle Dub Show, because that's what we do. Again, thank you to all our subscribers. Again, if you have ideas, you have thoughts, comments, anything you want us to comment on, let us know. And perhaps you might be a special guest on the Mizzle Dub Show.
Never know.
But that is the Monday edition of the Mizzle Dub. Well, actually, one more thing before we go. Because you can never not talk enough NFL football. The Chicago Bears getting interest about that number 1 overall pick in this year's draft. If you are the Bears, do you entertain it?
Yeah.
If somebody is not there that you want at number 1 overall, do you entertain the thought?
Yeah, there is a quarterback needy team that will give up those picks to go get with their franchise quarterback. So I believe the Bears get out of it. They already said they got confidence in Fields. So if you're not gonna draft Carter, you're not drafting a quarterback because you already gave the confidence. What else is there? What else is there? So get capital, and you build around Fields. And you get a couple of defensive players down the line. So yeah, I'll definitely would get out of that first round pick. Yeah.
There you have it. Whoever has the draft capital may be on the clock instead of the Chicago Bears.
Indeed.
For the NFL draft. So that'll do it for this Monday afternoon edition of the Mizzle and Dub Show. He is Mizzle. I am Dub. As always, we thank you for watching our show. And as always, it is 5 o'clock. Some damn where. And I'm drinking from my Warriors cup.
I got water down.
Yes. Back to the Batman water bottle, if you will. But thank you again, fans. We will see you on the next show. You have been watching the Mizzle and Dub Show.
Yes.